Bismillah.
Bismillah.
Nirahim. Okay, good. Alhamdulillah. Rabbil alamin. Ar-Rahman. Nirahim. Maliki yaumiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in.
Lombok Island, West Nusa Tenggara, is one of the islands in Indonesia. Lombok is known for its beautiful sceneries and mesmerizing natural landscapes. Not to forget, some people referring Lombok as the island of 1,000 mosques. Local and international tourists flock to this island to spend their holiday. The charm of Lombok Island also admitted by Lutz Dominique Husing, a man from Aachen, Germany. He was so admired by this beautiful island. His visit in 2017 left him with so many meaningful memories. Not only the beautiful sceneries, the hospitality of the Lombok people, and the richness of its tradition, but also because of Jonathan's very first encounter with Islam through one of the Islamic cultural events. He still clearly remembers how he got captivated by the Tahlilan tradition, the Islamic cultural event which Lombok people usually do. Jonathan got invited to join Tahlilan once at one of the Lombok locals he stayed with.
When I was living with them, they invited me to a nightly gathering, maybe like 30 men sitting together, and they were reciting Quran, and then they let me join. So I was sitting there and was experiencing this reciting, and I found it very interesting and really nice that the people are gathering together to do some activity. After they finish reciting, they all sat together still for 1 or 2 hours and talking and drinking and smoking, drinking coffee, and it was really nice to see.
That Tahlilan sparked his curiousness. Jonathan was a former obedient Catholic, so he did not know much about Islam.
Before coming to Lombok, my knowledge of Islam is very limited. I had a few friends who were Muslim, but not really practicing it a lot, so I had a very limited view of Islam. Well, I knew the women had to wear hijab, the men were praying 5 times a day, and sometimes Friday have a gathering. That's basically all I knew, and that they were not allowed to eat pork. That's what I knew.
However, at that time, this 23-year-old man had not converted to Islam just yet. After he came back to Germany, Jonathan promptly looked for information about Islam through social media. Unexpectedly, social media brought him to meet Anastasia Putri Iswari, a Muslimah from Indonesia. Since then, Anastasia, who worked in a digital company, taught Jonathan about Islam.
First of all, I tell him about Islam itself, like the pillar, the Rukun Islam, Rukun Iman, something like that. I told him about it, and I also introduced him about the azan itself. And after a while, I taught him how to clean himself, like wudu and how to shower, something like that. Because if we want to do prayer, we have to be really clean and pure. So I teach him about it, and after he knows how to do the salat, the prayers, after know the gestures about it, then I make a model for him. Like I start to make it around 2 until morning, because that time I was waiting for sahur. So while I'm waiting for sahur, I make the model for my husband. Well, at that time I wasn't the wife of him, so I just give him the guidance so he can learn about it.
Dankeschön, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It's very nice for you.
Through video calls, this 28-year-old woman often answers any questions from Jonathan about Islam. This Javanese woman also showed how she did fasting from sahur to break fasting time. Finally, in the mid-year of 2021, Jonathan announced Shahada. But he did not tell his family at that very moment that he converted to Islam.
I kept it a secret first because I wasn't sure how they're gonna react. And in looking back, I could have told them earlier because it would have been better. But once I said it and once I was ready to say that I was converted, they first were in shock, but then also accepting.
Alhamdulillah, 1 month after Jonathan told his family about him being a Muslim, his family accepted their youngest of 3 siblings' decision. Even though they still think his actions were so strange.
Thank you very much. It's very nice for you. I'm enjoy. Thank you.
No, most of them were same like my family, a bit shocked, but all of them were respectful and were happy about my decision. Just sometimes they're joking around, saying like, "Oh, we want to drink. You cannot drink, right?" Or like, "Oh, we eat, but it's with pork," or something like that. But they just take it in a good humor, and I take it in a good humor as well.
Wow. Wow. Thank you very much, Anastasia. Very nice.
Growing up in a non-Muslim neighborhood indeed became a challenge for Jonathan to practice his newly converted religion as a Muslim. This German man, whose hobbies are surfing and rock climbing, admitted himself for the challenges he had.
It's challenging, yes, because when you come from a Catholic family, it's very new, and the structure of the day is very different than from a Catholic one, because you pray 5 times a day. And in Catholic church, we just went to church maybe every Sunday, so it's a very different step how you have to organize your day and etc.
Moreover, it was during the time of COVID-19 pandemic. Jonathan could not go to Mu'alaf Center frequently to learn more about Islam.
Well, my wife was helping me the most. Every time I learned about something and we video call, she was helping me, saying how I should do it right, what did I what did I do wrong. So my wife was the number one helper, but I also had some friends from the Islamic Center, and they were able to help me with some questions I had, and I was praying with them also one time. But because of Corona, I restricted my visits, and I didn't get to meet them so much. I didn't visit the mosque so much because of the Corona restrictions that time.
But Jonathan never gave up. He bravely came to Indonesia when the Indonesian immigration border reopened during the pandemic. Certainly, the main reason for Jonathan to come to Indonesia was to meet his Muslimah woman, the one who taught him Islam all those time in cyberspace. Not only to say thank you personally, but Jonathan also proposed to Anastasia to marry him, a man that 5 years younger than her.
Jonathan, Lutz, Dominique, saya katakan perkenalkan kepada Anastasia Putri Wiswari. Wali hakim yang telah melengkapi Anastasia Putri Wiswari kepada saya dengan mas kawinnya perhiasan emas 7,4 gram dibayar tunai.
Saya terima nikah dan kawinnya Anastasia Putri Iswari binti Iswaryuti dengan mas kawin yang tersebut dibayar tunai.
My mother, she was just having a normal response because she knows that I've been dating a lot of guy before, like foreigner. So now she was saying like, are you sure? Because the difference age between you and your husband is 5 years. So are you serious about this? And you haven't really met this person, never met in persons. So how you sure about it? And I told my mom that yeah, I've been talking with him, even not meeting in persons. We usually have conversations through voice call or video call, something like that. And already 2 years we know each other. Then I'm sure if he already decided to come and to marry me, especially to meet my parents, it means that he want to be really in serious relationship. So my mother was like, okay, then if you are sure about having a marriage with this boy, that time she was saying boy because of age difference, and she was like, then don't say no, because he came here with the good intentions to marry you, then you can just start nikah siri first.
However, there was one Islamic law Jonathan needed to do before marrying Anastasia, which was circumcision. Yet Jonathan had not immediately agreed to the procedure, because never in his family history had a man get circumcision.
So once I talked with the doctor and everything, and he eased my mind about it, I was ready for that. Maybe 1 week.
Alhamdulillah, Jonathan and Anastasia got married in August 2021 and registered their marriage in Germany in December 2021. After getting married and staying in Indonesia, Jonathan admitted he is now feeling so convenient and getting better at doing ibadah.
Islam in Indonesia is same like the culture. It's very widespread. So you have a lot of Muslims, but you have a lot of differences also in their practices. So when I first came to know the Muslims in Lombok and the Muslims in Jakarta, I was very shocked because there's a lot of differences in the way they pray and the way they practice their religion. So it's really interesting to know how the culture of each region also is intervened with the religion itself.
Jonathan's wife acknowledged how her husband is now becoming an obedient Muslim and doing salat 5 times a day as it should be, even though he still needs to see YouTube to learn the movements and the dua for salat.
Ya Allah, I pray for all the people that cannot pray for themselves. I pray for my wife and for my family. I pray that my family is prosperous and healthy. I pray that my wife can be a good mom. I pray that I can be a good father and imam for my family. I pray that I can be a better Muslim.
I have the most important role for his new journey, and also my responsibility is very high. And yeah, it's okay. I mean, I see himself changing a lot. Before, every time I wake him to pray subuh, it's really hard. He was like, yeah, I'm still sleeping, I will wake up like 6 or whatever to pray. And I was like, cannot, you have to wake up now. I was like that. And he praying, like sometimes giving like a mad gesture. I was like, yeah, I pray, something like that. But it's okay. He finally now praying.
It has been nearly 2 years for Jonathan and Anastasia living in Kebayoran Lama, South Jakarta. All local activities are not strange for him anymore. As well as the Ramadan atmosphere, Jonathan feels Ramadan in Indonesia is so special.
It was very difficult for me. The first few days I got really sick, so I had to take a break from fasting. But once I got used to eating before sunrise and then eating after sunrise and not drinking, it went easier day after day. So by the end of it, I was feeling like normal. But especially when you're doing like sport or something, it's really hard to continue fasting and not eat or drink anything.
This 23-year-old German man is also not picky about food. Warteg food is one of his favorites for his breakfasting menu.
I like warteg because it's first of all a very cheap way for me to get food. It's very close to my home, so I just need to walk like a few minutes. And the good thing is I can get relatively healthy food at a good price. I can choose from like tempe goreng, sayur, kangkung, ikan teri. I like those kind of food, and it's I like to order.
Jonathan also did not forget to do sunnah when he broke his fasting. For example, he ate dates in odd numbers.
Allahumma laka sumtu wabika amantu wa ala rizkika aftortu birohma tikaya arhama rohimi. Amin.
Yeah, I know about that. My friend that I know here, his name Ari, he told me about that information. So I was like, you want another date? I asked him if he wanted another date. He was like, no, I already ate 7. I was like, okay, why 7? Why not 8? Why not more? Yeah, because 7 is an odd number. And then I asked him, yeah, why is it important? He said, yeah, the odd number, if you eat the odd number of dates before to break the fast, it's a good sign of luck and well-being. And I was like, okay. So I only eat like 5 dates instead of 6. Even though I wanted to eat one more, I only ate 5.
Now, Jonathan is eagerly memorizing dua for salat and some Al-Quran surah.
Bismillah.
Bismillah.
Hirrahman.
Hirrahman.
Nirrahim.
Nirrahim.
Okay, good. Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. Lillah.
Hirabbil
Hirabil.
alamin.
Alamin.
Okay, good. Ar-Rahman.
Ar-Rahman.
Nirrahim.
Nirrahim.
Okay. Maliki
Maliki.
Yaumiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in.
The most difficult is the Arabic language because I'm not very good with languages. I grew up with German, French and English, so for me these languages are easy. But as I become older, it's more hard for me to learn. And while I'm also studying and learning about Indonesian language, learning Arabic language is very hard. So memorizing the prayings is really hard for me.
Jonathan believes, for now, his little achievement is better than not learning anything about Islam. Indeed, his perseverance and his persistence is working out.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Ar-Rahmanirrahim. Maliki yaumiddin. Iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdinas siratal mustaqim. Sirata, and then it's really hard. The rest, and then the end Bali, and then Amin. So the end part I still need to learn.
That's the story of Jonathan's journey to find Islam and staying faithful to Allah. Who expected a simple Islamic traditional event such as tahlilan was the one which thrills a man's heart and soul.